Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. And if you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter.
We are now being joined on the Newsmaker line by arguably one of our most popular interviews of all time, coming back once again, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, it's an honor to have you back on the show.
Thank you very much for having me back.
Alrighty, Jake. Well, a lot's changed. The last time we spoke to you, you were living in England, and we've heard a little bit about that. So what brings you back stateside?
Well, I'm an American. That helps. I got fed up with the bad food, the bad weather, and 3.5 years was long enough.
All right. Well, we welcome you back. And since you've been back, you've done a lot on the wrestling circuit, WWE releasing a DVD, appearing in TNA. Basically, what do you think? How do you like being back on the American circuit?
Well, being on the American circuit, maybe circus is a better word. You do these independent shows, and you see so much that's wrong with the talent today, with the way that shows are run. Hardcore this, hardcore that. I don't agree with any of that. Then you turn on the television and it gets worse.
Now, speaking of hardcore, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but speaking of hardcore, you were the referee of the Monsters Ball at TNA's Bound for Glory event. Were you disappointed with the way that match turned out? Because it looked like you were a little upset with the hardcore action that was going on in that match.
I just think it's a waste, and I think it's ridiculous. I don't think it sells tickets. I think that people can see something like that on just about any street corner in America today. We're there to entertain and to wrestle, and it's a lost art right now. There's not people out there doing it, yet they argue and say, well, that's not what the people want to see. Bull. Kind of much slang is bull, blah. Because if you go out there and do grab a hold, the people get with it. It's just that they're not being given that opportunity. And, my gosh, wrestling's been around since the beginning of time. First it was Romans and lions against dudes and Christians and a guy named Jesus. No, Jesus, I'm sorry. And, you knew who the good guys were, who the bad guys were. But today you don't know who's good, who's bad. They label people. They prostituted something that was just pretty simple to begin with, and did have a sense of value and morals. And today it's just, wow. If you want to see comedy, turn on Seinfeld. If you want to see sex, then turn on one of the Playboy channels or whatever. But if you want to see wrestling, you should be able to turn on a channel that has wrestling. When you turn on Raw now, you get 15, 20 minutes of wrestling in a 2-hour show.
Absolutely, and it's funny you should mention that because you actually write reviews of Raw on your MySpace page. Now, some have said, many of your critics say that you're doing that trying to get attention from WWE, maybe to get a position where you're an advisor or something like that. Do you think that's fair, or is that them just being idiots?
That's just them want to speculate and do whatever they want to do. And the reason I'm doing it is because I love wrestling.
Excellent.
And if they happen to read it and they change something, great. But I don't want to be patted on the back for it. I don't want a job. I wouldn't last for about 15 minutes up there because I'd strangle somebody. I see so much up there. It's just so ridiculous. And, they're not putting out a wrestling show anymore. They're WWE, not WWF. It stands for Worst Wrestling Ever. It's pretty simple. And maybe I'm too old, and maybe that day's gone. But I still think there's a market out there for real wrestling. I think there's still people out there that enjoy it.
I would
If not, they wouldn't be making so much money off this WWE 24/7 showing all these old matches.
And taking that even one step further, even Are you aware that even the classic wrestling action figures are more popular than the ones of the newer guys?
Oh, absolutely, because they were characters. They were real. They were individuals. They weren't cookie cut, on a platter and served up all at once. I mean,
I'll tell you another thing that goes really well is the classic Superstar DVDs, and you did one of those with the WWE, and I have to say it was a very good collection of all your best work and your matches and your interviews and stuff. How did you enjoy doing that?
I did it because I'm a prostitute. I'm a streetwalker. I'm a call girl. I liked a little bit larger pieces of pie, but I didn't think they got the best of my work. Not at all. I think the best of my work was in the Mid-South days and in the beginning of my WWF career. Georgia Championship Wrestling was some of my best work. Bar none, Monty Garvin and I, those were classics, and they were a joy, and everybody went home saying, damn, that was a fight. And it was.
Now, when you were in the UK, you actually ran a bit of a school of sorts, and you were doing shows here and there, and I know that there's a lot of things that go over there that are a problem with running shows and things like that, but did you ever think maybe about doing something like that in the Florida area, maybe starting to train some guys?
I would love to do it, but, it takes commitment out of the kids. Bottom line, I thought about doing a once a month thing or whatever, and that's no good. If you're going to learn, you need to be someplace and stay there till you get it down. It would be much, much better for everyone if people could come in for, 60 days, train every day. Because the bottom line is, now everybody's mind's so screwed up from what they think is the right way and what they think they need to do, that the hardest part would be erasing that all out of their brains and making them start over. Because when I train you, I'm going to make you do it my way or it's the highway. And it's a slow process because I feel like that you shouldn't move on to the next thing until you have the first thing absolutely perfect and you can do it in the dark with your eyes closed. And today it's not like that. I mean, hell, some of the crap I see some of these kids do, I'm like, that's a damn shame because that kid's going to be crippled in 5 years and nobody's going to remember his name.
I promise you we will get to talk about the Snake Tales DVD that's coming out, but before I get there, just going off of that, we had Missy Hyatt on probably a couple of years ago now, and I know you know Missy. She made a comment to me that actually has stuck with me, and I throw it at people when we have this kind of conversation. She said she was managing an independent show in Florida, and in the first minute of the match, she saw 10 finishing moves.
Yeah.
Did you agree with that?
Yeah. It's a waste. Everybody's going for the cheap pop. Most of these guys forget that the fans bought tickets to watch them. They go out and get in the ring, and as soon as it gets quiet out there, they panic and want to do all this ridiculous stuff. I mean, I watch WWE, and I watch, 7 or 8 DDTs every week, for high spots. And everybody says, well, Jake, don't you get upset about that? No, not at all. You know why?
Why is that?
Because whenever they do it and a guy kicks out, people at home go, when Jake Roberts did, you didn't get your butt up. That must mean that Jake's a little bit better than you. Absolutely. Less is more. When you destroy your credibility in that ring, you're no longer a draw as far as I'm concerned, because you destroy your credibility, people don't want to see you. It's sort of like having a girlfriend or a relationship, and you're with her for 20 years, and you never stepped out of that relationship, but maybe one night she went out with Jake Roberts, and you got stupid, and you wound up having sex with a midget, and you go back to her and tell her, and you say, I never did that before, but damn Jake, you're a midget, but I'll never do it again. Do you think she believes that? No. You're a liar. You've been a cheater all your life. And it's the same thing in the ring. When you destroy your credibility, they don't want to see you no more. You're just another one of those guys, another one of those phonies.
Right.
It's like, who's tough? The guy that gives 9 clotheslines or the guy that gives up from 9 clotheslines?
Absolutely. Let me ask you...
You're both liars.
All right, let me ask you this question. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but something that's bothered me a little bit, and I'm doing a lot to promote the show, but I'm not sure that I agree with why I'm doing it, is the Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. Now, my problem with it, and tell me if you're on board with me on this, my problem with it is that after 4 hours of wrestling, they are sent out to the ring to do a basic match. And I think everybody knows that you need a little bit more than 4 hours training to have any kind of match, even the most basic.
The magic of television, huh? You snip the tape 50 times, have you to retake it, nobody at home knows that. I was up for doing some of that on that show, and thank God they didn't call me, because, again, I wouldn't have lasted 15 minutes. I said what I think, and I'm in trouble. It's just a shame that I've watched it once, and it totally disgusted me. You know, oh my God, you know, I mean, please give me a break. You know, I mean, I know that he got lawyer's fees and all this stuff going on in his life and divorces and all that stuff, but do you really have to do something like that?
So you do think it hurts the integrity of wrestling?
I think it hurts the integrity of people that watch it. Oh my God.
All right. Well, Jake, we talked a little. Yeah, absolutely. We talked a little bit about the Pick Your Poison DVD, and now you're starting to release a series. Now, you probably don't remember our interview from a few years ago, but during it, we were discussing the idea of you writing a book. At the time, I was helping out Ricky Steamboat with a book that has still not been released, and you had said, no, you didn't really want to do a book. You were more interested in doing videos because you couldn't put what you wanted to say into text. Is that what these Snake Bites DVD or Snake Tales DVDs are going to be all about?
Well, the Snake Tales is basically ribs and stuff and practical jokes that we play on each other on the road or in hotel rooms or bars or in the ring or in the dressing room or places we shouldn't have been. And it's all humor, you know, and a lot of fun. But that's the first one. And starting this weekend, I'm starting to do something called the 50 Answers to the 50 Questions You Were Always Afraid to Ask Jake Snake Roberts.
Uh-oh.
And they will be submitted online on the MySpace, and we will be answering probably a lot more than 50. And hopefully there'll be questions there that will actually help people understand what was going on in the business and what this business is really about. I'm not going to answer dumb questions like, what was your favorite snake? You know, where do you keep your snake? Those questions won't be answered. I'm going to talk about how you get to where you want to be and different points in my career, different matches, what was the psychology on it. I mean, just about anything except ignorance. I'm tired of the same silly questions. And, you know, what was your snake's name? Hell. I mean, there were about 200 different Damians. I mean, just figure that out. I mean, that's why it grew from week to week, different sizes and shrank. And, you know, I mean, that doesn't happen. But I understand that's part of the entertainment. But I want to get more about psychology, about the wrestling ring, and psychology behind matches, characters, interviews, things like that.
Absolutely, and that sounds really interesting. I think I heard that you're releasing these mostly through your MySpace page?
Yeah, it's myspace.com, official Jake Roberts. You know, there's a price list on there, and it's a rib buster, a piss in your pants type thing. There's some practical jokes on there from hell, and there's going to be a lot more coming.
Alrighty, Jake. Now, we end all interviews of late with this question, and I'm really looking forward to your answer to this. A year and a half ago, the Chris Benoit thing happened, and you being who you are, with the way that they treated you on the Beyond the Mat, and the way that it seems like they jump at any opportunity to bury you in the media these days, what did you think, being who you are, experiencing what you've experienced, the way that the media pounced on professional wrestling?
You gotta understand, media is about making a buck, and it's all shock therapy. I mean, you know, 50 years ago, if there was somebody that got murdered in your neighborhood, you freaked out for months. Today, somebody gets murdered, you don't even think about it. The way they jumped on that certain situation, it made me sick. What good came of it? I don't know of any. Do we we have a right to judge Chris Benoit? No, we don't. Let God handle that.
Yep.
So God knows what happened. That's all I got to say about it. I still respect the man and love him.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Snake Tales is out now on official Jacob Roberts MySpace, and we really do appreciate you coming on the show, Jake. You're welcome anytime. I think last time we had you on 3 parts, and it lasted like 3 hours in length. I've got to tell you, it's always an honor to have you on the show, and we can't thank you enough for stopping by.
Well, let's do it again sometime soon.